Hey guys, my name's Jacob, and I used to have social anxiety in the same way you do. I had it for years, had it my entire life, and I thought that was just who I was. I was just the guy who had social anxiety. I couldn't talk to cashiers, I couldn't do any of the most simplest stuff or interact with people at a basic level that people should be able to do, to be honest. But I just couldn't, I just wasn't capable of that. But now, with work, I've been able to do that, and I want to share with you what actually works, because spending years of your life and years of effort trying to fix something with no tangible results, like I probably spent like 2 to 3 years of like self-improvement, typical self-improvement advice: get jacked, build a body, meditate, all of the typical cold showers, bro, all of this like standard self-improvement advice. I tried it. I made YouTube videos. I did like the whole self-improvement, the whole harms advice on how to fix social anxiety, even up until the point of like actually socializing. Go expose yourself to new situations. Go put yourself out of your comfort zone. Go do stuff that makes you, out of your comfort zone. And none of that, it got like 20% of the way there, and it never felt like I could still interact normally. It never felt right. It felt like there was something fundamentally wrong and that I was just different. But learning what actually does work, because there is stuff that actually does work, and you're not cursed with social anxiety forever. Trust me, I've been there, and I've been in that like almost hopeless state where you really want to just be able to interact with people. You want to be able to approach a stranger without anything internal going on, but you just can't. You want to go say hi to that girl, just have a normal conversation. Maybe you guys get along, maybe you don't. But then there's like 8 levels of bullshit going on underneath, and it's like, it's impossible. I just can't. It's just, I'm fucking worthless. I'm never going to be able to do this. Because that underlined me for so long, and it's not fun. So, watch the video, and I will hopefully make one big paradigm shift in how you think about social anxiety, how to go about it, and how to actually finally remove it. Okay, first of all, let's explain a bit about what social anxiety is and the beliefs that sort of come with social anxiety, and that a lot of people have this in common. I've talked to a bunch of people with social anxiety, and basically all of this is in common with each other. So they're likely to be what you have. An underlying feeling that I'm different, I'm not good enough, I am in some way low value, and that there is a sort of social hierarchy that others exist in that I am somehow lower down on. That I am low in this social hierarchy, and when I interact with people, that is underlying my behavior. There is also feelings of I'm being judged or perceived, or you have an insecurity that you're always worried others are like judging and worrying about that. Or a big one for me was I can't appear insecure or I can't appear anxious, because I was just so worried about appearing anxious and appearing worried and fucking appearing like I was socially incompetent. And that fundamentally, if those things are true, or if my insecurities are there, that if you have a part of yourself that you don't like, and that is like seen by other people, because fundamentally you have a problem of being seen in your entirety by other people, and you react to social situations as a threat to your identity. If you weren't afraid of being seen as a certain way, you wouldn't have social anxiety. If you weren't attached to a certain identity, you wouldn't have it. This might sound a bit obvious, but I'm going to explain something and it'll blow your mind. It might not. You know the iceberg picture? I might chuck it up on screen if I remember. If I don't, whoops. The iceberg where there's like 10% above the water is the visible iceberg, and then below the water is under the water. The iceberg is fucking massive under the water, and it's above the top. Think of the subconscious mind as like the same, Below the water is your subconscious mind. It's out of your awareness. It's out of your attention. And your focus just isn't there. You don't realize it's happening. It's like you're not consciously regulating your breathing right now. It's just happening. It's just there. I want you to think of your subconscious like that. A lot of these beliefs are subconscious. They're underneath, deep down, and you have to do some excavating to actually find and bring them up and deal with them. Because when you go into social situations, what happens? All of this stuff from the subconscious that are hindering you is fear of being judged, fear of being seen as a certain way. You've attached threat to social situations. Your low value, all of these things are in the subconscious. They exist, but they're out of your direct awareness. And then they are brought back up in its physical manifestations, like all of your anxiety. Your throat is tight. You're sweating. You're shaking. You feel so inhibited. All of these happens as a result of the stuff in the subconscious being triggered by the external world and coming up. You have to deal with the stuff in the subconscious, and I'm going to tell you how. On top of this, I'm going to tell you something else. We are basically conditioned from childhood to be certain ways. I'm going to give you an example. This hopefully will blow your mind. It's pretty cool. Okay, so think of yourself back in year one. Imagine that you were in your classroom and you want to make a joke. You spontaneously get the feeling, I want to make a joke and make everyone laugh. I just want to be funny. Make my friends laugh. You make that joke, and instead of everyone laughing, everyone looks at you like you're a fucking idiot. And the teacher, on top of it, your authority figure, tells you to shut up and that that's not appropriate. What happens to you? What happens in your body, in your mind? First of all, your perception isn't evolved like we are. We are fundamentally, evolutionary wired to fear being rejected by our tribe. Because if we were rejected by our tribe, we're going to die. So at that age, we see any social exclusion as fear to our life. And we can't, right now, you can consciously realize, if I get rejected, I'm not going to die. But can you know that as a 10-year-old? No, you can't. So in your 10-year-old's mind, why did you make that joke? What happened? Well, you made the joke because you wanted to make everyone laugh. And what happened? I got rejected. Everyone hates me. Okay, what do I learn as a result of this? Your brain works as a sort of prediction, like a predictable mechanism, I guess. Predicts future situations based on past. Now it predicts that if you enter a social situation like that in the future, you get the urge to speak, get that spontaneous energy. That past prediction will come back because you have learned that being spontaneous is not safe. Now, you have that spontaneous urge, but this time, that past prediction comes back and it's like, hey, remember when you did that? You gotta practice. Don't do that. Don't do it. You won't be safe. And then you have the thoughts. I shouldn't say that. That's weird. Those thoughts will come up and you won't say it. And you'll feel tightness in your body. All of the social anxiety, manifestations. You've learned that expressing yourself is not safe. That is inherently what these beliefs are. You've learned at a certain period in time that expressing yourself is just not safe. And you have to rewire your relationship to those beliefs and just how you think about it. Now, I'll give you an example. Okay, I can't appear weird, I can't appear dumb, I can't appear anxious. Why do you think we have little rules like that in our brains that we can't behave like that? Why? It just doesn't come out of nowhere. Maybe there was a time where we watched someone be weird and then they got rejected. They were made fun of. We watch a TV show and someone acts in a weird way, they do something stupid, and then a bunch of other people make fun of them. What happens in your mind, your body? It goes, that behavior's weird. that made them get rejected, I can't act like that. And it creates these like should statements in your mind, which act like subconscious rules that you can't like break because you don't want to get rejected. But these rules obviously serve a purpose, they make sense, but when they're taken to their extreme, which they've definitely done for you and for me, they act as inhibitors and we can't be free. We can't say what we want to say. So all in all, you want to delve into your subconscious, find those belief statements and rewire them. Find like that 10-year-old's of the story I gave earlier of him being rejected. He might have created a little bit of trauma in his mind. Now go back into your past and find events that have created mini traumas basically and heal them. For me, I used to be bullied, and a massive thing that healed me was, so again, I was bullied and I was afraid that other people were disgusted by me. I was afraid that who I was disgusting. That was like I want to say it's a big thing, but it's like, it was a thing I had in my mind. I was afraid of being disgusting. Going into your subconscious, healing that, going back into your, visualizing your past self and telling yourself that it's fucking okay. Questioning that belief, is it valid? Is it valid? If this belief were in other people, would I say, yeah, that makes sense. That's a fair and completely logical assumption to hold about life. Or do you look at it and that's not really fair at all, is it? That's just kind of just shitty. Because you'll notice that you have rules that you wouldn't apply to other people, but you apply to yourself because you're a special little snowflake. That we're apparently different, but we're really not. So yeah, that is the video. I appreciate you watching. I hope you do like and subscribe. Helps me out a lot. And yeah, tell me about your experiences with social anxiety in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. So yeah, take care. Bye-bye.